Hello, my name is Senior Master Sergeant Christopher Stallsmith, and I am an instructor at the Air Force Senior NCO Academy. And looking at what our topic is this week, differentiation of instruction and using technology to help it, is something that I've had to incorporate over the past uh, almost year now when dealing with a virtual environment, having to deal with COVID-19. According to Robin and Hughes, when you're looking at these curriculum standards, um, those are used to ensure that we are meeting, given us structure, so we're meeting the objectives of what the intent of the lesson is. We want to make sure if we are intended to teach something specifically on leadership, we have that structure built in, letting the instructor know, hey, what they're going to be teaching, how they're going to teach it, and it's a strategy in place for them to meet that objective, and it's predictable to the students as well, where they can see what lesson is supposed to be taught, and that lesson is meeting intent. Now, as we've gone through and started teaching using strategies to differentiate, we have to take into account the students that are in front of us and how they're going to learn best. And that's through feedback with these students. Are they auditory, visual, verbal learners? But the complex piece of that is how do you address those when you are in a virtual environment and you're taking technology in, where we've had those capabilities, we leverage it, but we might be dealing with different generations that are actually being affected, different generations that you know they have different levels of comfort with the technology that is in place with them. So you have to balance uh, trying to provide that technology, trying to use it and leverage uh, the technology within the classroom, as well as trying to uh, make sure that the technology is not overshadowing the intent of the lesson. And if you have students within the classroom, you might have to do a few extra steps to prepare them to actually be able to incorporate that technology as well. An example we've had at the Senior NCO Academy, we leverage Microsoft Teams in virtual environments so we can have virtual discussions. And for us, when we know students are coming in, we actually get a hold of them a few weeks early to measure their capabilities, make sure they have uh, Microsoft Teams downloaded. And then we spend time before they even come to class to be able to go over uh, some tricks, tips, making sure they're set up with Microsoft Teams and they're capable of using it. Other instructors, or even myself, we see these other capabilities. Once we identify the best way these students learn, we can actually do guided instructions through Microsoft Teams as one way to differentiate a lesson through a guided discussion versus just lecturing, as well as we use experientials using other platforms such as Google Jamboard, where you can actually use post-it notes to kind of do brainstorming activities and more design thinking and bring that out. Also, we have lessons such as problem solving, where we use Miro.com, which gives you really good tools such as flowcharts to be able to create uh, maybe like a current state map of a process and help them develop a future state map. These are excellent tools that I've used at my students. Even once we've come back to an in-resident environment, we introduce these tools to the students and they're able to build products and able to uh, really reinforce lessons virtually, even back when they go to their lodging groups.